Hi guys, this is Ms. Hong. Today is June 2nd, Tuesday, Learn Day, and it's June. It's the last month of the school year, right? And our last day is June 25th. So it's like we're almost there. So keep it up, guys. All right? And today we will do exponential growth and decay function, and we will look into the function form. Okay? And let me review two questions from last class. So we did this one yesterday and last week. So express each expression as growth and decay factor. So that means if it says 20% more, then we did what? 100 plus 20%, right? So you will get 120%, which is 1.2, right? Remember, we did this one yesterday, and decreased by 0.5. So when it's decreased or less than those like decreasing word, right? Then we subtract it. So from 100, which means original amount, minus 0.5, right? Then you will get 99.5%, and percent to the decimal, we move decimal points 2 units to the left, so will be 0.995, right? So we did this one, and today we will use a function form. All right, so guys, exponential growth and decay function that looks like this. So this is the basic form, right? So you know, when we work on the quadratic function, then the basic form was like ax squared plus bx plus c, like something like that. So we have the format, right? If that is linear function, then that is like mx plus b, like this. This is the basic format for the exponential function. So I want you to remember this. So we say it a times b to the t power. It's very similar to geometric sequence, right? So it's like kind of similar concept, but this is what initial value. We say a is my initial value, and b, this one, the base, right? That is growth or decay factor. So that could be growth, that could be decay, depends on the number. And normally the word problem will come with the time, right? Like 20% increase every year, like something like that. So I just put t for this position. That could be x, that could be whatever variable. All right? So that's what initial value, that's growth or decay factor. And I'm gonna connect yesterday's lesson and today's lesson with this. So guys, look, it's the same format. You see it? A times, parentheses to the t power, right? That's the same thing. But what do you have here? 1 plus r, 1 minus r, and r is your percentage. So just like that, that number 1 plus r, that means 1 plus 0.2, right? 1 plus 0.2. So 1 is as a percent, 1 is same as 100%. 0.2 is the same as 20%. So this r represents percent increase or decrease. So if that is growth, then that's plus r, right? Percent increase. And if that is decay, then that's decreasing. Okay? So in that case, this entire thing represents b. That's the same thing. b and this entire thing is the same thing. But for b, we can express that way. All right? And for b, we say growth or decay factor. All right? So that's it. So I just want you to look at the format. All right? So let's look at this one, guys. Guided practice. Number 1, given the growth decay percentage, determine the multiplier. So 5% growth. Then now we know this term. Growth is what? Adding, right? So 100% plus 5%, so will be 105%, which is 1.05. So this is what? because this one says multiplier, but I want to say it growth factor. Okay, so that is growth factor. That's 1.05. Yeah, look, 12% decay. Then we subtract it, right? 100% minus 12%. Then you get 88% will be 0.88. So that is what? Decay factor, right? So it's like exactly same as what we did yesterday. And today's like, I want to do this kind of stuff, guys. So I want you to look at the format. Do you see this? The first number, that is what? Our A, which is initial, right? Which is initial value. And this one. This is what? In the parentheses. That is B, which is growth or decay factor, right? And also this R. This R, this is what? The rate change, right? This is the rate. So I want you to look at the format, okay? And first, does this function represent exponential growth or exponential decay? Look at this. What do you have here? You have plus right here. Then what is it, guys? Growth or decay? Growth, correct. So that is exponential growth because you see this plus, right? And what is your initial value? Your initial value is this one, the first number outside of the parentheses, right? So it will be 1,200. What is your growth or decay factor? This case, it will be growth factor, right? And growth factor, I told you growth factor will be the entire parentheses. So it's 1 plus 0.3, which is 1.03. That is my growth factor. Okay, that is my growth factor. And what is the rate of growth, right? Rate of growth. So you're just looking at this. That is 0.3. Or if you want to write it as percent, then what? You're converting it back to the percent. So you need to move your decimal point to the right. Then you just fill in 0 here, so will be 30%. So you can either answer 0.3 or 30%. Okay? So let's move on to number 3. It's the same thing. We are just looking at what? Format. Okay, we are looking at the format. So first, what is this? The first number, that is your initial. Correct. So your initial value, that's 55. And A asks you this function's exponential growth or decay. Look at this. What is this? Minus. Then what? Decay. Right? So decay. Everything will be decay. And what is your decay factor? Told you decay factor will be entire parentheses, the base of the exponent, the base. Alright, so 1 minus 0.02. This entire number will be your decay factor. And if I simplify that, that is 0.98. Right, so this is my decay factor. I'm circling my answer. And what is the rate of decay? Rate of decay. Then what? We are just looking at this one. That one. That is my rate, right? Something you add or subtract from 1. That is your rate. So 0.02 is my rate. Or you can also say it 2%, because if you move your decimal point, push back to the right, twice because you want to convert it to the percent, then will be 2, right? So I completed number 3. And you know what? Number 2 and 3, I showed you plus and minus, right? But now 4, 5, it didn't have plus minus, but we will get it. So guys, before we do these 2 questions, think about it. 1 plus r, then this number is supposed to be greater than 1, right? And 1 minus r, then what? You subtract something from 1. So definitely the number will be less than 1, right? So when you look at the growth or decay factor, the base in the parentheses, the number is bigger than 1, then that's growth. And the number is less than 1, so you get 0 point something, then that's decay. All right? So look at number 4. What is your initial? Your initial, that is 100, right? My initial is 100. And look at your base. What do you have here? 1.25. Is that greater than 1 or less than 1? That's greater than 1. So is that growth or decay? That is growth, right? So answer is growth, exponential growth. And what is your growth factor? Because this one already calculated, so you can just write 1.25. This is my growth factor. And if the question asks you, what is the rate of growth? Rate of growth, then what? That is 1.25. We need to break it into 1 plus something, right? So that we can get r. Or you can just subtract it 1. So just minus 1. Let's do minus 1 because that was 1 plus r. But we want to know r. So let's subtract 1. So minus 1. Then you will get 0.25, right? So this is my percent. Or if you want to write as a percent, then will be 25%. Okay? Alright. And the last one. So that could be a little confusing, but guys, look at the difference. This one, you had 1 and r. Like directly you can see your r. But this is already calculated value. So to get r, we need to get rid of that 1. Because like 1 is always there, right? Just get rid of 1, then you will get your r. From here, same. You just subtract 1, then you will get your r. Alright? So guys, look at number 5. So my A is 5575 because the initial value. And look at your base. Is that greater than 1 or less than 1? Less than 1. So it is exponential decay, right? And what is your decay factor? Decay factor, that is this parenthesis itself. So 0.65 is my decay factor. And what is the rate of decay? Then what? I told you we subtract 1. Don't say 65%. From here, we need to subtract 1 to get the rate of growth from decay factor or growth factor. So you subtract 1, then you will get negative 0.35, right? But just ignore that negative because for the rate, we don't take the negative rate, right? So will be 0.35, just think about absolute value. Then you will get this positive value only because that's percentage. And that's same as 35%. Okay, so I'm gonna mark my answers. Okay, that's it guys, that's it for today. And my lesson quiz, guys, oh my god, 30 seconds left. So I did workout for 3 weeks, right? But I didn't lose any, like not even 1 pound. So Ms.Hong didn't lose any pound. I don't know, probably I'm gonna getting muscles, right? Alright, so please complete lesson quiz for today and use this for tomorrow's homework. Alright? Okay guys, stay safe. Thank you for watching the video. You'll have a great day. Bye bye.